Okay, final topic, my Malkin's moments. This is one Malkin's moment, just one Malkin's moment this week that I wanted to touch on. Shout out to the Wisconsin women's volleyball program for winning its first ever women's volleyball national championship. Major, major accomplishment for a Wisconsin Badgers team who had been cracking on the door, been knocking on the door, but cracking just the mold of previous kind of teams. They've been so close time after time after time. And this was an epic 5-set match. If you got a chance to watch this against Nebraska, they outlasted the Cornhuskers in 5 sets. And it was captivating and thrilling for the entire 3 hours. It truly was. And Nebraska took the first set. Badgers took the second and the third sets. And mind you, the second set went 31-29 to Wisconsin. It was one of the most epic second sets that I've seen. Cornhuskers took the fourth, and the Badgers pulled out the fifth, 15-12. But it was just an absolute spectacle, and it was only fitting that the reigning player of the year winner, or not the reigning, but the recently named player of the year winner in Dana Retke, would record the game-winning kill. It was only fitting and that it would end like that with her. She's the first Badger to ever be the national player of the year. She had 11 kills, a career high 13 tying blocks, which, again, this is a 6'8" middle blocker who decided to return for her 5th season of eligibility, along with a couple other players. And the reason why this is extra special is because this is a Wisconsin team that had just lost to Stanford in the national championship match in 2019. This was their 5th trip to the Final Four, their 4th trip to the national championship match. They lost to Nebraska in 2000, lost to Penn State in 2013, and they lost to Stanford in 2019. And last year, because of COVID, the NCAA tournament was played in the spring as opposed to the end of fall, early winter. And the Badgers were the number 1 seed. They were undefeated. They reached the Final Four, and they were swept by Texas. And there was just a bitter taste in their mouths. And 4 seniors came back to be kind of their fifth year of eligibility because of COVID, allowed them to retain, almost like it granted them an additional season. And they came back, and they got the job done. And for this to come also against a Big Ten conference foe and a rival in Nebraska, a team who they had beaten twice in the regular season and who historically has been one of the best volleyball programs in the country. Nebraska's won 5 national championships in volleyball, and they were seeking number 6. They had reached the national championship match in 2018. They beat Wisconsin, as I mentioned, in 2000. And they were on this incredible run as a 10th seed in this tournament, just demolishing opponents along the way. And this was the 11th time since the NCAA tournament was established in 1981. This was the 11th time that it went 5 sets. And this was the 10th national championship game match appearance for Nebraska. And for me, I'm a little bit emotionally torn. I was a little bit emotionally conflicted because half of my family, including my mom, are from Nebraska. They were born in Omaha. My mom was born in Omaha. I have several aunts and uncles who were born in Omaha. My grandparents were born in Omaha. And yet I went to Wisconsin. And that's where my allegiance lies. But I have a soft spot for Nebraska as well. So when this matchup came, it was just, on the one hand, I was extremely excited that I could be happy for either side to win, but at the same time, I knew that I'd be a little bit disappointed in whomever lost. So, not to mention, I mentioned this was a spectacle. What I love the most is how much interest there was in this championship match. This was a record-selling crowd that was at Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. They had 18,755 people. It was an NCAA championship record for the most people to show up. It's deserving. I'm glad that the sport is garnering that type of attention, that type of consideration. And for this Badgers program, again, they'd been so close in years past, and they were after they were formed in 1974, and Steve Lowe took over the program in 86. They won the NIT championship in 89. Then this team really started to blossom. And when I graduated from Wisconsin in 2019, that was when they were really starting to turn the corner. They were starting to get really good. In fact, Dana Retke was actually a freshman, and then she was a sophomore over the last 2 years that I was at Wisconsin. And when I was calling their volleyball matches during those seasons, they were starting to look really good. That was kind of when they were beginning to crack into the top 25 consistently. And now to see where they're at right now, what they were able to accomplish this year, just a major congratulations to that entire program, to that university, and to my alma mater. And I was extremely thrilled to see them win. That's all the time that I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me right here on Morning Joe every single Monday and Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 to 11 Central, and 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Mondays and Wednesday mornings. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube page, Morning Joe with Jonah Malkin. Follow me on Twitter at Jonah Malkin or at morning_Joe_, Instagram, JMalk97, TikTok, Jonah Malkin. And as always, have a lovely rest of your morning.